Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my 2 informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And I saw coming through my feed the other day, none other than Chris Jones. You all know who it is. It's your boy Chris Jones, representing Physiques of Greatness. But in that photo with him was none other than Marc Lobliner, who many of us lovingly call Pocket Liner. And I noticed something. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Now, at first my initial glance was, well, you know, Chris is just kind of out-angling him, trying to make his bicep look bigger, but then I realized, no, Chris is at least the same size with bigger biceps. He might be bigger overall than Pocket Liner. I thought that was interesting because wasn't Marc up to like 240 lean? 240 lean at one time? Like 240 under 10% body fat? Well, wasn't that the case? Am I missing something here? Chris Jones is down usually what, about 190 when he's lean? Maybe a little less. He cuts into the 180s. Cuts down into the 180s. So he's sitting there what, 185, 190? Looking bigger than Marc? You mean to tell me that Marc has lost at least 40 pounds of muscle? I mean, am I missing something here? Am I missing something? Am I doing my math wrong? Let's double check it. Let's see. 240 looks the same size or smaller than a guy who's 190. That's 50 pounds. So we'll round it up. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll just assume that Chris maybe just looks bigger because of the BBC genetics, right? Like he just automatically looks like he has another 15 pounds muscle more than he has, right? Or something like that. That's what I read on the internet. That's what the kids all say. That's what they say. I don't know about this. I haven't observed this phenomenon so much in real life, but apparently on the internet, BBC genetics automatically makes you look bigger. So what, 15 pounds of muscle? Bigger than he really would be. Okay, that's what the kids all say. We'll go with that. So that's about 40 pounds of muscle loss. Now, isn't it a coincidence that Mike Rashid's lost 35 pounds of muscle recently? Now, both of these guys were sucked up and caught up in this WFN scandal, right? As much as they might try to deny it, Marc received packages from him, and he more or less admitted, yeah, he really did. But he said, well, I didn't use this stuff. But he received packages, and the shipping receipt said it was payment for endorsement. And he did publicly endorse them. So he was part of this whole WFN scandal, and they know the feds got all involved in the middle of it. They know that. Now, they know they walked away personally with no charges against them. But all of a sudden, these two guys who were known for allegedly, got to use those legal terms, alleged use of significant quantities of illicit substances. And by the way, Pocket Liner, brother, I used to be friends with John Hollywood, and he did tell me, doesn't mean that you did it, but he did tell me what stack he told you to do for a competition that he was your coach for. And I will say, if that alleged list was correct, that was a lot of stuff, bro. That was a lot of stuff. It wasn't like just a gram here, guys. It wasn't just 2 or 3 things. It was big. So these guys, both of them, who have some of the people heavily connected and specifically who received substances, endorsed this company, everything else. 2 of the guys who walked out of it without being charged with anything, without jail time, have both lost at least 35 pounds of muscle in the subsequent year. Well, we're not even at a year yet, are we? We're less than a year out since it happened. They both have just magically dropped enormous amounts of muscle mass. Now, do you guys think that's a coincidence? Do you believe in coincidences? That's a real question right there. Do you believe in coincidences? They just both happen to have lost at least 35 pounds of muscle. Sorry guys, my dog was playing back there. He's making a lot of noise. They both lost at least 35 pounds of muscle. Could it be that maybe both of them are concerned that they are being watched by the feds. Maybe they're concerned that they shouldn't have any illicit substances like that around their home, that they don't want to use them, they don't want to be around them. They don't want to be around them because they don't want to get in trouble. I mean, I think that's a fair assessment of the situation. But man has Marc shrunk. Man has Marc shrunk. But you know what, Marc? All is not lost because you sell a test booster, right? Did you sell Insurgent? Isn't that the name of it? Insurgent. Stuff will blow your test levels right up in your face. You sell that product and it says it boosts testosterone. In fact, you showed a study with a guy who took it who had really, really low testosterone, who after taking it had only kind of low testosterone. He only had kind of low testosterone. So, you know, it might boost your test levels all the way up into the high 300s. Maybe even 400 nanograms per deciliter. Yeah, it might do it. I mean, you sell the product over the counter. You claim it boosts tests. That should give you your gains right back, right? Now, you mean to tell me if you're off all this stuff, you're not using your own product? You're not using, I mean, what's going on, Marc? Isn't it going to help boost your test levels? You sell it. Oh, wait a minute. We know test boosters don't work. Now, keep in mind, Marc had said before he started selling a test booster, the test boosters don't work. I only carry them because my customers demand them, and I tell them. Because he answers the phone on every single call. When the people call into Tiger Fitness, Marc picks up the phone, and he says, hey, bro, I see, you know, yeah, I know you're trying to buy test boosters, but they don't work. I'll sell them to you anyways, though. Because he always said, you know, he always tells the people calling in that they don't work. But he sells them to. So I guess he answers the line personally, talks to them. But all of a sudden, he has one that he claims works with no human studies showing it works. Without a single human trial showing that it works. An example he gave was a guy with really low tests who took it, who had still kind of low tests after taking it. Okay, that's real impressive. But clearly that's not going to resolve the problem. Now, Marc, you do have another possible solution. I'm just going to throw this out here. I mean, if you don't want to get caught with illicit substances, there are other things out there now. There's different SARMs and stuff that they are research chemicals. Now, inside the continental United States, they're legal to possess. They're legal to purchase. They're not, however, legal for human use. Now, you couldn't use them yourself personally. You could possess them, but you can't use them personally. But, you know, you might have a spider monkey fish frog research project going on in your basement that you're working on. Maybe you could get your buddy Dr. Lane Norton to sign off on a project, a nutrition project, you know, where maybe Civation or someone will fund it to where you guys give spider monkey fish frogs with their little mutant hands, where you give them branched chain amino acids and SARMs and compare the groups and maybe see which one grows more muscle, right? You could do that. See if the branched chain amino group or the SARM group grows more muscle, and just hope nobody accidentally mixes up the powders or anything. You know, you could do a project like that. There is hope. There is hope. But yeah, that muscle loss, I mean, again, if you guys look at it. Look at it. Marc has lost a lot of muscle. Lost a lot of muscle. I'm kind of curious to see what his lifts are like. Anyone know what he's incline benching and stuff these days? He used to be really strong on the incline bench. I'm actually genuinely curious to see what his lifting looks like. Because I know the last time I saw a training clip someone sent to me, his work sets on deadlifts are lighter than mine, and mine aren't anywhere near my peak sets because I'm doing really high set training. They're weaker than mine. And again, I'm still over 200 pounds. So, you know, I guess that's to be expected. Man, Marc is just, the gains have just melted off. I guess that's what we'll have is 6 months. When guys have built most of their size, blasting tons of gear, 6 months off without really knowing anything about how to train or how to do anything else, they sure do shrink, don't they? They sure do shrink when they're running them bro splits. with 37 different isolation movements chasing a pump. These guys sure do shrink fast when they come off their stuff. It's almost as if they don't actually know how to train when they're clean. One might get that impression. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you guys next time. But I'll say it one more time before I go. Spider monkey fish frog.